Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Driving My Truck. So I did get the repairs done on the truck. I got us all set up, all rested and all. So let's go ahead and take a look. I did add one more mod on. I did coast to coast. So if you notice, we have all the way across the US that we can go now. So our goal is I want to make it to Minnesota. I have never actually been to Minnesota in this game. I realized that today. I have never been to Minnesota. So price per distance, the best one we're going to have right now is up to Denver. Now, it's 107 miles, so I think we might do that one. The offer expires in 20 minutes, so we got to hope that we can get over to the pickup location prior to it actually ending. So we are going to rush to try to get that picked up.
Do this.
Okay, so we did make it on time to get over here to be able to get that load. As I said, I was going to try to cut out the whole drive from where we picked up to where we picked up our load, just to try to cut a little bit more time out of there. It wasn't very far at all. You can actually see the repair shop that we just used. So, yeah, wasn't that far that we actually had to go to be able to get this load. However, I wanted to make sure that we had enough time to be able to do this drive. And since we're doing a shorter drive, I wanted to make sure that we could actually talk a little bit while we're doing it. So let's go ahead and get this all loaded up. There we go. Now this is going to be a fun one trying to get out of here. So we have triple trailer. So that's going to be a fun one to try to get out of here. So let's try to see if we go all the way over first. And then try to cut back a little bit here. Might have to do a little finagling here, aka try to jackknife the truck, just trying to get out of here, because I want to try to keep it as close as I can, because right now we're almost past there, so I just need to try to make it so that way we can, we're not hitting anything there. Looks like we're going to be bypassing that. There we go. Now this is a really heavy load. I'm hoping we don't have any really heavy hills we have to try to go up, because our truck is not really liking us right now. This is one of those times I wish I had that manual transmission so I could tell it what gear to be in. Is because it's not really liking wanting to be in that gear.
Turn left. Keep right.
Okay, so we got out of there. That was lucky. And that looks like we're going to be getting on the freeway here. So, a little bit more about myself. So, as I said, I was a disabled combat veteran. I actually was in the Marine Corps, and I served for 8 years in the Marine Corps, and finally got out because, unfortunately, with my leg injury, I was unable to walk anymore. Not walk, run. My CO signed waivers for me so I could finish out my contract and be able to get out with an honorable discharge and not a medical discharge, and just enjoyed my time while I was in. If I would not have injured my leg, I most likely would still be in the Marine Corps, and I would actually be eligible for retirement already. Last year would have been my eligibility for retirement out of the military. So it is nice, but at the same time, I wish that I was still in, if that makes any sense. If you've been in the military, you know how it is. You know that it is like no other place that you have ever worked in your entire life. You have a brotherhood. It's like nothing else in the world. You can work at the most tight-knit company that is available in your area, and you will never have the camaraderie that you have while you're in the military, because the people that are to the right and left of you, they are the ones that actually hold your life in their hands. If they're not on their game, then you are in essence not going to make it. I know it's a little grim, but at the same time, it's how it is. And then we got over on that construction site. It looks like, oh, come on, guy. Really? You're going to stop right on the middle of the road? Come on. Hopefully none of them decide they want to try to go into my trailer. Because we have seen that before. Have seen it before. And then off of the test that I did last time, I did realize that the only graphics I am allowed to have without having the very choppy graphics while we're doing this is low. So I do have to keep it as low graphics. Now I'm hoping that we can speed up a little bit faster. I did not want to have to do time lapses on this one, so I'm hoping we're not having to. But if we do, this is most likely going to be the section that we're going to do then. So if you see a time lapse, that is because it took way too long to actually get this video recorded because of how heavy our load is. Now if there's no time lapse, you get to enjoy me continue talking. So the disability that I have is my right knee, where I had 3 separate injuries to it. The first one, while I was in boot camp, I was running in platoon, and there was the person on the right side of me that had 2 M16s. One of them was held with both hands in front of them while they were running, and then the other one was on the sling on their weak side, so their left side. And while we were running, that rifle that was slung on their shoulder decided to come off of their shoulder as we were running. It went down, and then my knee came up at the exact same time, and that rifle went right into my knee. It caused my knee to swell up, and I was actually on light duty for a week, and my drill instructor actually pulled me into his office and told me if I was on light duty for any more days that I would be dropped to MRP, which is the medical platoon. And that means that you stay in boot camp longer. Your time in boot camp, your standard time, which is 13 weeks, stops counting, and you stay there. And you're in that platoon until you're better and you can continue training. And when you continue training, you are joined up with whatever platoon is at the same time that you were actually in. Now, if they're even a day farther, when you are cleared for full duty, you go to the next one behind them. So you have to redo things for the next 6 days that you've already done, but you have to redo them to be able to continue on with boot camp. I had I'm going to emphasize this, absolutely no ambition to do that. There is no way I wanted to stay in boot camp longer. I don't know anybody that has been in the military that wants to be in boot camp longer than they already are. So I said that I was better, got myself off of light duty, and continued training. My knee was okay, we'll say, okay for a little while, and then later on I was in my unit and we were doing an obstacle course, and I was a road guard. We called them speed bumps, and the reason we called them speed bumps is they ran 100 yards in front of the platoon when we were on a run, and 25 yards behind the platoon. So if anybody was driving a car and came up to the platoon, they would hit them first to signify, hey, you need to stop, aka the speed bump. You're a speed bump because you are what people hit to let them know to slow down. Was doing that, and my fire team was actually the road guards. We were all road guards, so we were always the fastest. We could run the farthest, everything. And we were doing the obstacle course. We were going through there, and there's a section where there's a low pole, high pole, and there's 3 sets of those. So you have 3 lows and 3 highs all separated out from each other. And we never actually did what you were supposed to, which is you grab the pole, loop your arms around it, we'll put one leg over top of it, and then you roll yourself over with using your leg. So you're supposed to do that. We never did that. We just jumped up, grabbed the pole, and then used our arms and our momentum to just throw ourselves over top of the pole. That's all we did, was just throw ourselves over the pole. It was a lot faster getting through there, so it made it so we were a little faster. Well, this one time, even though I did it probably 100 times before then, I put my leg forward just a little bit too early, and I ended up running my knee into the same pole. Now, in boot camp, it was my right knee. In the obstacle course, it was my right knee. So both of them were actually the exact same leg. So I ended up being injured again for the exact same leg. Yes. Was put onto a limited duty board. So I was on light duty for a little bit, and then I wasn't getting any better, so they put me on a limited duty board. By that time, I had actually been to the Naval Hospital, everything, and none of them could tell me what was wrong with my leg. Everyone just continuously called it a contusion. Which, if you have any medical knowledge and you hear somebody saying they've had a contusion, it usually goes away after a little while. Mine never did. So, you know what? We are at our destination. I will tell you about the 3rd injury on the next video, because we're almost at our destination, and the 3rd injury is actually a little bit longer of an injury. So, yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer to get through that. So I want to make sure that we can actually talk about that, and I can get through all of the information for it. Because that one actually took place while I was in Iraq. And I want to make sure that I can go through all of the information for that one. So we are at our destination, and we are pulling in right next to the train. So we are going to go really close to the train. Tried to make sure I went as wide as I could there. Coming in behind. And here we go. We getting there? Come on. You can do it. There we go. And we are at our destination. Wrong one. There we go. Turn on the brights instead of turning on the detached trailer. Okay, so we got our base pay of 5,000. We got another 400 and then another 400 for our level 2. We did not get our level this one, but that is okay. We managed to get that shorter drive so we could actually talk a little bit more. I think we completed this video for you guys here. So we are still level 9. Hopefully on the next video we will be able to get that level 10. So we will be able to actually get another level and hopefully more upgrades for the truck. We got 24,000 now. Hopefully we can get an upgrade on the engine or transmission. Those are the things that I'm really hoping that we can upgrade. Those are what I want to spend the money on right now, so that way we can do those heavier loads without having to worry. But until we see you guys the next time, drive safe, and we will see you next time.